when I went to Israel and Palestine, I was in community with Israelis and Palestinians and African refugees that were looking for a peaceful, equitable solution to what was happening. You know, I was in community with Israelis that refused to go into military service and went to prison because they did not agree with what the government is doing. So there are Israelis that don't agree with what the government is doing. And there's Palestinians that don't agree with the decisions some of these groups are making, right? That aren't in total agreement. When I was there, you know, the Palestinians that I interact with were very critical of the Palestinian Authority and the decisions that they were making on behalf of Palestinians. Now, I went in 2014. It's a much different time, but I just wanted to put that in context. And so I just wanted to first say, like, when it comes to like the human loss of life, like, just like, what did you all think? What were your reactions or responses? And then I want to get into this broader conversation of where we are. And again, like, as 4 Black people here, you know, with the privilege to come into a place and sit and talk, what we think about, not only what we think about it, but what we think could be possible. It's not that anybody gonna listen to us, but if they would, what do we think a possible solutions could be? Did anybody want to start? I'm gonna start with Treble.
Yeah. So what's interesting is sometimes I have dreams that can transport me into completely different human experiences.
Astral projection.
Almost.
Okay.
Almost. So essentially, the day after the news struck about the war over in Palestine and Israel, I had a dream where I'm riding through Oakland trying to get home.
Oakland and Pittsburgh.
Yes.
Okay.
Oakland and Pittsburgh.
Gotcha. It's
trying to
Oakland,
get
a neighborhood
home.
in Pittsburgh, for those that don't know.
And all of a sudden, there are people, like random people with guns, just shooting people at random.
Right.
I couldn't tell who they were targeting.
Right.
I couldn't tell what their motive was.
Right.
I just knew that innocent people were dying in
Right.
the streets right in front of me in this dream. And
Right.
it felt so real. And I feel like that dream essentially was like helping me to empathize with the humans that are over there who
Absolutely.
aren't part of this, you know, state war that's going on.
Didn't make the decisions that are affecting folks right now. Correct. Yes.
And then it made me think, like, when I woke up, I was like, this is a reality. Like, I was thankful to have woken up from that dream.
Absolutely. Yeah.
There are people over there who aren't waking up from a
Right.
dream.
Right.
They're living this every day. This is their reality now.
Absolutely.
They don't know if they're going to die. They don't know if they're going to be the next target.
Right.
They're literally watching people die on a daily basis. And it's like the fear that I felt in that dream was unlike anything I've ever felt in life. You know what I'm saying?
No, and that's just, it's like, that's that privilege that we have to like be able to come to work and not have to think about those things, right? The possibility of a bombing happening or, you know, somebody popping up. And that is, although, you know, we as Black people, we live in neighborhoods that deal with community violence. So we've dealt with community violence in a different way, right?
Yeah.
But even, I mean, you could argue that the community violence that we deal with is oftentimes based on decisions people in power make to put folks into a condition where they feel like this is the only thing that they can do or need to do, or how else can they get out of this situation. So thank you for sharing that, because that's a very private, personal thing.
Yeah.
But I appreciate that empathy that you shared.